Hi guys, you're welcome to my tutorial. And today I want to teach you how you can work with dependencies as a Solidity smart contract developer. The moment you are building more complex contracts, even if they are not too complex, you discover you need dependencies to work with a few things. And today I'm teaching you how you can install dependencies, how you can update dependencies, how you can remove dependencies, and how you can remap dependencies. If you don't know, there are a couple of reasons you'll need dependencies in your work, and one of it is to leverage security libraries or secure libraries. If you want to use Ownable of OpenZeppelin or any other library, let's say PRB Math of Paul to work with your divisions and your mathematics, you need to install these things. Let's say you want to use Soulmate, you will need to install them to write more secure contracts. And the second reason is to avoid building from scratch, right? There are a couple of things you don't need to build from scratch yourself. You just need to set them up and build the actual contract with them. With installing a dev dependency in Foundry. So you can come to your VS Code, make a directory. Let's say make a directory uh, new. Is it to create a new directory? Come here. Now let's say forge init to create a Foundry repo. All right, we have our Foundry repo set up here, as you can see. And there is a test contract here, which is a counter contract, a very simple contract for demo. Then what can we use to spice up this contract? What about using Open Zeppelin or Enable to control the access? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We should do that. Yeah, let's get into it. So this is the Open Zeppelin repo on GitHub, and we look it out, and you can see, okay, this is a way to install it with Foundry, Forge install. Generally, we use Forge install to install any dependency in Foundry. Anything you want to install at all in Foundry, you use Forge install for it. Then for this Open Zeppelin contract, this is the recommended way to go about it. Then let's try it out. You can simply copy and paste it into your um, Foundry project. But first of all, remember to change your directory. So come here now, for instance, and say cd src, yeah. Then Forge install Open Zeppelin. So just chill for it to, as you can see, we have installed Open Zeppelin library into our project. And come here, you can see Open Zeppelin contract. So entirely, all the Open Zeppelin contracts are here. And you can use anyone you think is useful for your project. But I only taught you this because now Open Zeppelin is already part of the repo that Foundry supports. So you don't even need to say the URL. Just mention the name Open Zeppelin contract, Open Zeppelin, and it will pick it up. But what about projects that are not yet fully supported by either Foundry or Soldier, and you need to just install them via URL? So let me teach you that. So for example, now let's say we want to use Solidity in our contract or in our project. How do we install it as a dependency and use it efficiently? And right now I'll be showing you how to do that. So it's the same workflow. CD to your SRC, then you can simply say forge install, copy the URL of whatever you want to install and say forge install Solidity. Let's see what comes up. Okay, it's bringing a couple of errors, so let's run it with no commit. No commit. Let's see how it compiles and runs. It's obtaining it, which is beautiful. At this point, I think there is also something that is quite important I should let you know. And this thing can be very frustrating if you're trying to install a dependency and it's showing you exit code 128. I don't know, I've come across it a couple of times while working on projects. And right now, I'll replicate it and just show you how to fix it if you come across exit code 128 while trying to install a dependency with Foundry. So this is what I mean. And I've seen a couple of other devs who face this issue. So whenever you're having issue with exit code 128, just do run your JIT init immediately and fix it up. It shouldn't take your time, but if you don't know how to go about it, I mean, there was a day it delayed me so much, and yeah, that's the solution right there. When you have installed everything you need to install into your Foundry project, another important thing you should know is how to remap these things very well so it won't cause issue while building or while running your project. And that is why remapping is so important. And right now I'm teaching you how to remap your project in Foundry. So apparently everything goes on in your foundry.toml and just come to your VS Code down here. A quote or quotation. So you can come here to test. Let's try to use an open Zeppelin library in our contract. So let's come to src counter.so. What can we use? Enable should be good. So let's use enable to control access. So contract access. If you're not familiar with Open Zeppelin, I'll recommend you just kind of play with it to have a better hang of how it works. So come here. You can simply say, since we have remapped it, we can say import Open Zeppelin. No, we'll say lib. Just go ahead with Open Zeppelin. Trace it from the contracts from the library. Open Zeppelin contracts. No, it's a Open Zeppelin contract slash contracts slash access slash ownable.so. Wrap it up like this. If you try, kind of check it out with VS Code to say, okay, this is unexpected string, so we'll still check it out and fix this error later. So ownable is counter is ownable, so we want to inherit the abstract contract in. So this is the ownable is an abstract contract, so we want to kind of implement it in our own contracts, and that's simply how it works. And what's the main reason we want to do this? We want to use only owner in this increment number just for testing purposes. So once you have reconfigured your stuff in the TOML folder, you can simply go ahead as we're doing to your counter.so and just import it this way. Basically, what this is doing is that instead of saying lib open zeppelin yada 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 yada, this helps you skip the lib part and simply write the name of your dependency straight away. Why? You have remapped it already here, and that's the magic. Bear in mind, if you want to remap another dependency, let's try another one over here. I think we installed Solidity, didn't we? So open Zeppelin. Let's try to match up Solidity. Solidity, lib, Solidity. Basically, okay, try to run it. So let me show you instead of tell you. Forge build. Yeah, so there's an error here. When you want to add another dependency to your remapping, you have to separate it with a comma. Now let's run it again to see how it goes. and that went through. Building a project in production, and let's say the moment you started building it back then, the dependency has been upgraded a couple of times. Let's say you used version 2.5 or whatever, and it's now in 4.2, and you want to update your dev dependency. This is how you can simply do it with Foundry. If you want to update Solidity, for example, now you can simply say forge update Solidity, and it should update. Another interesting thing you should know is how to remove a dev dependency that you probably do not need. So let's learn how to. So how do you go about removing a dependency you no longer need? It's simply forge remove, then the name of that particular library, or maybe the link to the library. And when you do that, Foundry will pick up your request and